Please help me welcome our first keynote speaker, Luis.
Let me ask you a question. How many of you spend $10 a day? Come on, just raise your hands. I don't want your money. $10 a day. Come on, come on, come on. Okay, so I would say what? 80, 90% of you spend $10 a day? It's very strange. It should be more. How would you spend this money? If you're in Europe, you most likely use the card. If you use the card, this means you have a bank account. If you have a bank account, what are you using it for? You receive your salary there, you have some savings, you have the mortgage of your house. Maybe you go on holidays on credit with your loved ones. Or you're paying for that fancy new iPhone in installments. Now imagine a different world. Some place where you go and you go to the doctor. You need to pay upfront before you receive your medical care. When you pay the guarantee of the rent of your house, you don't pay 1 month upfront, you don't pay 2 months upfront, you don't even pay 3 months upfront. You pay for the full 2 years you're going to live in this house. And here, when you save some money, you put it in the place where you think it's safer. And that's in your room, under your bed. Maybe some of you are still doing it. Well, I hope not, but I live, and this is a problem of 2.5 billion people that lack proper financial services across the world. And you're not in touch with this reality, or you might not be, but it's real and it's out there. And it will be 6 billion by 2030 if we don't do anything. I live between Nigeria and Myanmar. These two countries are 10,000 kilometers apart. Different people, different religions. One country is in Africa, and the other one is in Asia. But yet, they are so close, so close. Because banks in Nigeria and Myanmar and across emerging markets, they just take deposits. They pay very low interest rates. And they take this money to lend to higher income class. And why is higher income class? Why did you say this? Well, it's very simple. In these markets, you need to have 100 to 200% of the value you're borrowing in hard assets. That means house, that means land. But the people in these countries, they don't have land. They not even own the house where they live in. So how can they get access to money from a bank when they cannot fulfill the basic requirements that the bank demands from them? Of course, there are other solutions, right? Human beings, we are resilient. We create solutions. And it is true, there are other solutions out there. Informal solutions created by random people in the street that try to solve some of the challenges that these people have. But these solutions are not always fair, and for sure, they are not scalable. In some countries, the only solution you have to save is to pay to save. Just imagine you have now 100 euros in your bank account, and in 6 months, you'll have 90. You just have a negative interest rate. Incredible, isn't it? Coadina, Juntas, Panderos, Susu. This is the name of a very interesting system that exists across emerging markets. There, a group of people saves together. So let's say I'm in a group of 12, and every month I put money, and my other 11 partners puts money into this group, and one person receives this money. So I know that in my month, I'm going to receive 12x the amount of money I normally put in. And I can use this lump sum to buy something that I need. But why? Why is this happening still? Why do we have 2.5 billion people in the world that don't have access to proper financial services? There are several reasons. One is the banks simply are not adapted to service these markets. They don't have the knowledge because the processes they use are so complicated and complex, and they cannot access the data that they need because simply it does not exist. The other reason is that informal groups that I just told you about earlier, They don't scale. So there's a huge solution that needs to be found, and we can leverage technology to do it. There are 5 billion unique mobile users in the world, and there are reminded 2.5 billion people with no proper access to finance. So what if you could use this? This thing you carry around with you 24 hours a day. If you can leverage the data that is here, you could unlock access to finance to all these people. And what can you do with it? So you need to know if somebody works. If they are at night in point A, and during the day they're in point B, and consistently move during the week between these 2 points, at night, in the morning, means that most likely this person has a stable job. How do you charge your phone? You charge it at night, right? Because you have battery, you need battery, and you have electricity at home. If in these markets people are charging their phones at night, means they're charging it at home. So they might have a generator, or they might have a proper electricity connection. How many phone calls you do a day? If you're a business person, you spend your time on the phone. If you do more than 10 calls a day, it's so much more probable that you will pay a loan. How complex are the SMSs you send? So this data, these are just examples of data you can use to unlock access to finance. And this is what we're doing at QuickCheck in Africa, Southeast Asia, is leverage this technology to unlock access to finance to millions of people that could not have it otherwise. Because if you look at the size of the gap that needs to be filled, the only solution is to use technology to leverage this massive amount of data so that we need to create truly innovative products that have the potential to impact billions of lives. Is this not the reason we're all here today? Thank you.
Thank you, Luis.